So you're mute. Could you? Yes. Can you hear me? Am I audible to you?
Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you.
Hello, sir. Good evening. We are just about to start in a minute's time. I just have very basic hygiene announcements to be made for all the participants who are able to see us live in the webinar and the ones who are able to see us on YouTube live as well. So just in case there's any technical error or any technical glitch and you're not able to hear my voice or you're not able to communicate, kindly let us know in the box below, in the chat box that you can see. Drop a message so our concerned person will take a note of it and they can rectify the error. We'll be commencing and kickstarting by 6:30, which I think we are good to go now as per the time schedule.
Want to wait for 2-3 minutes and then start?
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind.
I'll just wait for 2. I think if people are joining, let's give them 2-3 more minutes.
Okay. No, actually, I got a heads up from the admin. I think we can start. Otherwise, we won't be able to finish in 1 hour's time.
Excellent. Okay. So let's start with it then.
Yes. So I'll just initiate and then I'll introduce you. I'll give a little brief about your profile and then you could start off with your presentation and then we move ahead with the format of the live Q&A. Okay, sure. A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Drishyam 2K20, the Global HR Connect, a webinar series designed in conjunction with the ACBM Global Mentor Academy. My name is Prajakta Bhagat. I'm a live host and a presenter and a corporate lawyer. And I'm truly, truly grateful and humbled with all the people who've joined us. Thank you so much for taking out your invaluable time and joining us on Saturday. We are truly grateful with your presence and for gracing and beautifying this one-of-a-kind initiative taken by ACBM Global Mentor Academy, where we truly believe in adding value in order to escalate your highest of potential. Well, we are supremely excited and privileged to be having on board one of the esteemed and most eminent personalities in the field of human resources. He is a visionary making a difference with his outstanding contribution in the field of HR. One of the country's prolific expert and a stalwart. May I please invite and welcome Dr. Rajat Grover, PhD, GM and Head of Business HR, Fullerton, India. So welcoming you. Thank you for being on board in such a short duration. We are truly obliged and humbled with your presence.
Thank you, Prajakta. Thank you so much. My thought on how we're going to structure this. I have a small presentation which actually will define my thoughts when it's come to internship. The topic is about impact of internship. Followed by that, we'll go for a Q&A. Depending upon the time, we will try to answer maximum question the best effort basis.
Okay, sure.
And do a screen share right now to share the presentation with everyone.
You could do that, sir. You could do that.
Done. Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Rajat Grover. I'm from Fullerton, India. Just give me 1 minute, please. Okay, we go ahead. My name is Rajat Grover. I'm from Fullerton, India. I work in the capacity of General Manager, Business HR. Just to give you a snapshot, I'd like to start with something which I always believe in, which talks about the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you know when you find it. So when it comes to internship, when it comes to career, or when it comes to whatever you do in your life, the most important thing which I personally believe is you should like it and you should love it. If you're not liking it, if you're not loving it, it's just a job or just a work. If you're liking it and if you're loving it, it's a passion and that will take you a long way. Internship impact, I'll have 4 platforms with 4 themes which I'm going to share about. Platform is a platform to showcase your talent, commitment to the organizations, to the learning people, what they're doing. Second is the ability to do your teamwork, because organization teamwork is very different than the other teamwork that you people are doing. Help in time management. Of course, that's something which we all need to learn very fast, how to do time management when it comes to corporate world, and the real world business scenario skills. Now, business skills and the real world skills are very different and to be learned, in various other formats. So we need to be very, very clear on what we're doing. What are the basic impacts of internship? Let's say to start with, explore your interest. That's the basic thing that everybody should do before even trying to see what internship they want to go for. What is the most important thing? Is this what is a matter of interest to you? And you should look for internship only in what you're interested in and not what you're not interested in. It helps you to gain confidence. It helps you to build up your competencies, what is required for the job. One very important thing which is there in the corporate world is a network. It actually helps a lot to grow your network because you end up knowing people in the corporate world, which will help you to groom you better for your future careers. Exposed to work ethics. Many of the students, when they go for internship, the first time that they will be getting exposed to a corporate world. The corporate world is very different than the other world what people normally see. So it get exposed to work ethics. Explore career path. When you go over there, it actually tells you what are the career path possible. I'm sure lots of you will discover lots of things from a career path point of view when you only go and see what's available. There are so many opportunities, so many roles in the company which you must never thought about, but they exist. You can only see them once you go for internship and you start exploring the company, to know it better. Make sure that you build your resume in the right manner. Showcase your skills, showcase what you have learned in your internships, and that will actually help you to accelerate your career. That's the most important thing, which I'm sure each student is interested. How these things will help them to accelerate their career. So, should money be the factor which we should concern for now while looking at any internship? The answer is purely no. Money is only a factor, but cannot be the factor. While you're looking for internship, the most important thing you should be looking at is not the money that they're giving you, but the other things what they're giving you. So let's say one other thing what they're giving you is what kind of experience you will earn over there, what kind of job you will do over there, how what is the organization, what is the culture of the organization, what are their standard operating procedures, what you will learn, who will be your mentor in the company, what is the benefit you're going to get from the mentor, what is your skill set that the mentor has. I think those things are most important than the monetary part. I think that's a small presentation for me just to give you a snapshot of what all I think is important for you to know.
Sure, sir. I think that was quite brief and very crisp and clear. When I got to know that we'll be interacting with you today, you're going to be joining us on board as a keynote speaker. I was very intrigued to know more about your background. So I have researched about the kind of work that you've been doing. You have handled various HR roles at national and regional and strategic levels, and you've also conceptualized and implemented various complex and high impacting HR projects. And I have learned that you have filed for 2 IP products. How has your journey been so far, sir? Would you like to throw some light on the kind of, roller coaster ride you've had since your inception time?
Right. So the journey has been very good. I'm like 17 plus years of experience in HR. I passed out in 2003, and I did another course and passed in 2004. I recently completed my PhD um, in positive psychology. One thing which is important, which I learned, which I always tell everyone, that we should be keep on learning. I think that's the most important thing. Once you keep on learning, you develop lots of interest and you do lots of things. Internship is something that is a first platform that people come across when they enter the corporate world. For me, my internship was again one of the very learning experience. I did a internship in a small company in Pune. Uh, one of the project which I did was again a very small company in Pune in HR, where I actually sat down on the floor and shortlisted resume of people, to understand which role they will fit into. I'm talking about way back in 2003 when the IT was that good, but not that good what it is right now. Nokia.com was coming up and few other portals were coming up. the recruitment used to still happen through pen and paper, and people used to come to the recruitment consultants and give their resumes
Sir,
to them.
I can't hear.
So people used to come and give resumes to the to recruitment
Could
companies.
you please check with the devices? I think there's some technical error we are facing.
I can hear you.
Yes.
I can hear
No,
you.
it just paused for a while, it
Okay.
just stopped for a bit. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's important that we have to learn from everything. I'm sure the internship that I did, a small winter project that I did in a recruitment firm where I was exposed to thousands of CVs and to shortlist the CVs as per the role that they fit into, the industry they'll fit into, actually made me a better HR professional to understand what people will be doing and what kind of profile will fit in which kind of industry and which kind of job role. So when I moved on to my industry experience, I'm sure those CV shortlisting, what you call it in a layman language, it actually helped me a lot in understanding the CVs which came to me as an HR professional when I started actually recruiting for companies. The journey so far, will be a very different. I filed for IP recently because few things that I was interested upon was more to do with the happiness, more to do with the political psychology, emotions of people. That's matter of passion. So out of my passion, I started working on those IP products, and that I recently filed.
All right, so thank you so much for throwing light on that and enlightening and educating all of us. Before we actually start with the questions, we have a couple of people, our colleagues from ACBM Mentor Academy, Global Mentor Academy, who would like to join us in the webinar. So they will be, asking you certain questions, and at the same time, we'll be addressing the questions coming in from the live participants and the audience who are watching us right now. So could I please ask the admin to connect with them and kindly initiate with the questions? I think they will take a while. Mansi is on. Can I please have the question? So before probably, I think she's going to take a bit. Let me just commence with this. So I wanted to understand the difference if somebody has done a full-time MBA in HR and a person does a, like a diploma or a part-time HR course. What difference will it make, when it comes to hiring or getting an employment or getting placed?
Normally, whether you're doing a full-time course or a diploma or a part-time course, it's very important to understand what is the curriculum of the course and what is the time frame. In many institutes, how they are designed in a very simple manner, saying that if you're going to be taught something in 2 years, they get days and for 8 hours a day kind of session. And if this same thing need to be taught in a span of let's say 4 hours a day session or maybe 2 hours a day session, then it might be spilling over to 2 to 3 years, 3 to 4 years, depending upon the institute. So curriculum becomes a very important in that, and moreover, the curriculum is also important to how much serious the person is and how much of interest the person is taking in a subject. If you see my presentation, which I started with, it's
Yes.
talk about you should love what you're doing and you should be passionate about it. If you are doing the course because somebody has told you there's a very good career opportunity possible in that particular field, and you're doing a course because of that, or you're doing a course because you like a subject and you want to learn more about it and you want to make a career in that. It's a very thin line between both the parameters. Depending upon what we think and what the people think, now they will develop an interest and they will spend that much more time or that much less time, and they will
Okay.
try to read more or read less. There are two kind of exams what people give. One person try to give exams to pass the course. Second, the person will give exam to showcase what they have learned. So which category they belong to? Are they studying just to pass the exam, or they're actually studying because they like it and they want to showcase what they have learned? So,
Okay.
I personally believe part-time, full-time doesn't make too much of difference. If the person is passionate about the subject, he or she likes the subject and is going extra mile to develop his or her skills on the subject. Because ultimately,
Oh,
when the organizations are recruiting, they are recruiting a person with a particular skill set.
Got it. So we have Manasvi Mewada from ACBM Global Mentor Academy. Hi, Manasvi, can you hear both of us? Your voice is not audible.
Mansi, can't hear you, Mansi.
I think they're going to take a while to fix it. No, her voice is not audible. And we have also received, yes.
Hello?
Yeah. Can you please be a little louder, Manasvi? Your voice is not audible.
Yeah. You can hear me now, right?
A bit louder.
Hello? That is what.
Yeah.
Yes. A very good evening, sir. Welcome. Very good evening to all of you. So, sir, just as you said about the impact of internship, so I wanted to ask you, like, what is the impact of internship in the field, particularly in HR field? Like, you have 17 plus years of experience, just as you said. So, impact of internship on HR field is, can you please elaborate?
So
Yeah, I think her voice is still kind of low. Let me just repeat that, so it's audible for the rest of them and it's easier for you to comprehend. She's trying to imply that is internship mandatory before going for a job or graduation. And also I wanted to understand, so what are the attributes you look for in a potential candidate when you're hiring an intern?
let me start with something. If I could understand Mansi's question in the right manner, it talks about what do we do in an internship, right? And is the internship important, not important? One important aspect that comes is internship in HR. I will believe I'll tell you it's very important. What you learn in book.
So
For
your voice.
example, take a small example of recruitment, a recruitment cycle. You learn the book saying that people should recruit, should resume need to be evaluated for a right job. What we normally, but when you actually see the resume of people, do a job matching, try to see what role the person will fit into. It's a very different experience altogether than just reading in a book saying that we have to hire the right person for the right job. So when you come to internship, let's say a person in HR doing an internship on recruitment in any firm, his life experience will be very helping, very I think will be helpful to him or her when they come out of the internship, and they will be a better, I can say, recruiter or a better HR person than the person who was already reading in books saying that how to recruit. So on the job experience is very important and it actually helps a lot to understand how to do things.
Okay, thank you. I think that was correctly answered. I'm sure all the people who were having doubts and inhibitions about it, it's been cleared. So our second question is from one of the students. He's asking, I'm not able to do internship. How can I cover up for the same? He's an MBA aspirant.
I believe you're not able to do internship might be because of the current COVID situation, where lots of companies are moved on to work from home, and lots of internship has also moved on to virtual internships. It might be because of that, is what I can understand. Now, in this scenario, it's important that how are you scaling yourself? How can you upskill yourself? If you're not able to do a paid internship, can you look for unpaid internship? Can you get attached to any HR professional who were there in your in your circle or in your family circle? Can you work with them to understand how the things work? If that is also not possible, surely urge you to go online. There are lots of courses available online, which will help you to understand HR in a better manner, and which will help you to pick up some more certificates, which will help you to pick up some more, if there's some diplomas or some other live courses that they do. Try to go and see some case studies. There are lots of websites available where you can actually go and learn case studies, do case studies, understand the answers. If you're not able to do physical, you can say, um, right now because of COVID, the internship, there are lots of things which are available online, which you should explore. My sincere request will be to explore online media, look at what courses you can add to yourself, what certificates you can add for yourself, and try to work a lot on case studies, read case studies, try to solve case studies, read case studies which are already solved, and enhance your knowledge, something known as scenario management, to work on a scenario management.
Absolutely. I think that was beyond perfect. Manasvi, would you like to ask sir any questions from your
Yeah.
side?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes, this
Yeah.
is
it's
better.
better now.
Better,
So
yes.
yeah. So good evening and welcome, sir. So I wanted to ask, just as ma'am asked, I wanted to ask the impact of internship in HR. So my next question would be like, what is the ideal span of an internship? For example, there are generally 6 months internship. So is it advisable like 3 months, 6 months, or how many months should one go for an internship?
It's a very tricky question, Manspi. I cannot answer saying that what is the right frame, or how much of internship the people should do. The reason being is the internship will purely depend upon the academic or the college or the student, where they are studying. So lots of internship are designed by academic people, and few institutes give 2 months, few 3 months, few 6 months, few 5 months. I have come across, I think I have come across internship as probably at least for a year also. I know of an institute where they give people an internship for 1 year.
Okay.
So there is no right and wrong. What is the right frame? Because it will purely depend upon what the institute allow. You might
Okay.
want to do 6 months, but if the institute is saying 2 months, you cannot help it. You only have to do 2 months.
Okay.
My bit on that will be the maximum is better, because the more you get exposure to the live environment, the more you get exposure to scenarios, the more you get exposure to how to handle the things. That will make you a better person when you look for a job, or when you actually go in a live environment, you go and join a company. So
Okay,
there
sir.
is no right and wrong answer on that. Okay, 1 month is good or 6 months is good or 1 year is good. But I can only say more the better. And one more thing which is important is also more the better also come with a caveat. So, what are you doing in internship?
Okay.
Are you
Absolutely.
getting exposed to different environment? Are you doing only one thing or multiple things? Uh,
Mhm.
I gave an example of recruitment earlier. So are you doing only recruitment of, let's say, for example, you are recruiting a sales manager for a particular company. So are you recruiting sales manager for a particular company for 1 year? Or in 2 months' time, you are recruiting sales manager plus operation manager plus HR manager, or plus some insurance people for four different kind of companies. The kind of exposure that will come with a multi-dimensional will be very different than the exposure that comes with a single dimension. So
Okay.
Okay.
it comes with a caveat. It's not important. The internship should be lengthy, but it can be shorter. But it can be sweet, and it can have lots of dimension attached to it. Few
Okay.
internships work very differently. I have come across scenario where people work in internships. They get different exposure every 15 days. So might be in HR, if you
Okay.
talk about, somebody might get exposure of 15 days in recruitment, then 15 days in talent management, might be 15 days in L&D, then 15 days in comp and ben. So it might be 2 months, but those 15 days, four different stint in four different departments, will be very different kind of experience to a person who works only in one department for 2 months.
Okay.
Okay,
That
sir.
was perfectly answered. I think I would like to ask the next question. Sir, I believe that a HR is considered, people's person. He or she is known as the catalyst between the organization and the employee, from their perspective. So, what are the additional courses one can pursue in order to, qualify as a better HR, in order to excel in their profession?
Um, I can only say just go for your degree. That's all is important. Go
Okay.
for your degree. And again, I go back to my first question and my starting point. What do you like? Normal degrees gives you a generic field, because when you're doing an MBA in HR, you get exposed to all the different fields of HR, and you get a degree in HR. You don't get a degree in a particular field of HR, let's say compensation, or in learning and development, or in recruitment, or journalist HR, or talent management, or talent. You don't get degree in that. What you get degree in HR. What courses will help you will purely depend upon what is the level of interest that you have in different field of HR. For example, you did an MBA in HR and you have a lot of interest when it comes to compensation and benefits. There are courses available which will make you specialist uh, and give you certifications and diplomas in compensation and benefits only. So that course will help you because that is something that you are interested upon. Please don't pick up and go to compensation and benefit diploma only because somebody told you there's a good job prospect in that field. Don't do that. Somebody might be interested to understand talent management as a job, and that is a matter of excitement for them. They should pick up a course in talent management. There might be somebody interested in learning and development. They should pick up a course in learning and development. So depending upon, it's not how many courses you do at the end of the day. It's important that you like the course, you spend some time on it, and you do a deep dive on it. When you actually go for the interview or while you're working, if somebody is asking a question, when an HR professional sitting and recruiting somebody, and if somebody asks you what is your favorite subject, you say talent management is what I like. The first question that will come from anybody will be, okay, have you done any specialized course on talent management? Then if the answer is the question is yes, you've done the course, then the deep dive start. Okay, how more, what have you learned? What all what all courses you figured out, or why you did this course, why not that course? What was the comparison you did? How it helped you to be a better professional right now, other than your degree? So it will purely depend upon, I in my so far career, I have interacted and I have recruited good number of people in my career. I've interacted with students across the globe. My only advice to all of them is do what you like. That's all I say. I never tell them, I never say to anyone saying that you should pick up this profile, you should pick up that profile, this is in demand, that is in demand. No, don't do that. That's a wrong choice. Do what you like. If you like HR, do HR. If you like,
Brilliant.
if you want to be a specialist in HR talent management, go ahead and do that. No worries. Right.
Brilliantly explained, sir.
And
Thank
in
you.
today's scenario, if you look at, there's so many courses available. I passed out in 2003. uh, I had very limited courses available for me, right? But if you look at it in today's scenario, there's so many courses available. You can do specialization whatever you want. So that's a small bit for my side on that. I hope Manasvi, I answered your question right now.
Yeah, sir. Sir, so my next question to you is that, as an HR student, which area of interest should we do our internship in? Like recruitment and selection, or, like what should be our learning objective? Which area?
See, HR is very vast field. I can say that. Um, I spent good 17 plus years. Still, I will not be expert in many areas. It's that
Yeah.
vast. Um, so purely depends upon what uh, internship are you getting in the market when you look for internship. I believe one of the most common internship that are there in the market will be to do with the recruitment. Don't lose it, pick it up. It will make you a better professional in recruitment. The other might be the internship available in the market will be more to do with the journalist HR, where you support HR business partners in doing some activities. Pick it up. That's the right internship for you. A third thing, if you are interested again when it comes to any particular specialized field in HR, then you need to pick up or try to get internship in that field.
Okay. Yes. So, sir, when should one start interning? Like what age? After 10th, 12th, after graduation? Because students have this question in mind always. Like I've seen a lot of students having this question.
When should you start doing internship will purely depend upon your academic curriculum and what institute you belong to and when they ask you to do internships. So there is no age criteria when it comes to internship. It comes with the maturity of the person when he or she is doing an internship.
Okay.
Um, if you look at globally, internships are planned it is part of the curriculum where people do a certain courses and they are supposed to do internship for particular months and years, depending upon the company to company and the college to college. Now there is no age to it. It depends upon when you reach that stage and when the college asks you to do the internship and how mature you are when you go to the corporate world. One thing I can say during internship, the corporate world looks for a mature, much more mature people. So when you're in a corporate world, you should be matured enough to handle yourself and handle your peers. When it comes to your peers, when I talk about the corporate people who are your peers when you do internship with them, try to be more. I would say try to be more matured side than a childish side. I think that's the important thing. You can be a childish when you're out of the corporate world, but when you are, let's say, your job, your internship gets over at 7 o'clock, you can again become a childish. But when you are sitting over there, you should try to be more maturity side, because organization looks at the people delivering and people are doing a job at the end of the day.
Professionalism is the key for climbing up the ladder. Is that
Yeah,
what you're trying to imply?
yeah.
Absolutely correct. So we
I
have a
didn't
couple
wanted
of
to use a word called professional. I tried to avoid that.
no, but work ethics is what, ideally we all are supposed to comply and observe. So I
Right,
think
right.
that's absolutely relevant.
Hmm.
We have a couple of questions coming in the chat here.
Yeah,
Why HR internships generally are about recruitment process and not about the other functions of the organization?
that's the most demanding job in the market. And I think that's the most demanding job in the market. I did my internship in recruitment to start my career. So that's the most demanding job, and they have maximum opportunity. That is something which I'll put in a different way. You help you to fuel the engine. Recruitment is a basic job that is required by any company anywhere in the world, because you need people to run company. Who will recruit people? The HR professional will recruit people. So that's a job which is in demand always. And that's how maximum opportunities in the market also, because so many people are recruiting. You need people to help to recruit.
Absolutely. Sir, our next question is, how do you find your area of interest when you have so many options available? I think a lot of students, a lot of potential candidates, they have interest in multiple streams, and they often find it very challenging. They're always, facing this dilemma of trying to figure out or trying to introspect what is the niche that I could be good at. So what would you recommend? Do you think counseling can be beneficial for such students who are often very perplexed about choosing the right path and the career for them?
We in today's world, we all suffer from something known as problem of plenty. So the problem is we have so much of things, there's so much of data, there's so many courses, there are so many things available that we all are confused with something problem of plenty. So one, of course, they should speak with people. They should understand what their interest is. They should, of course, try to see education counselors if required. They should speak with family members. If somebody is in HR, I will surely urge them to go, and if they want to make a career in HR, I will surely urge them to go and speak with an HR professional if they can, wherever possible for them to do. There they can ask a live question to them, understand the life of HR, try to see what all they do during a day. It's a very simple saying that the grass is green on the other side. When you look at marketing, you find HR is good. When you look at HR, you find marketing is good. When you look at both of them, say no, 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 I think the operation is better. So there are plenty of choice available. But somebody need to spend some time with the right frame of mind, with some counselors if possible, with right kind of mature people to possible to understand and see where the interest lies, and then try to go for those courses or internships.
Absolutely. Manasvi, do you want to ask the
Yes,
next
yes,
question?
yes, yes. Sir, so what is your take on the internship versus certification face-off?
Sorry, internship versus.
Certification face-off. Like, should we go more for internship or more for certification?
See, you need to balance it out, I can say. For example, I'll give you one small example on that. Again, going to HR. You like, let's say, talent management, and you have done two different certification on talent management, but you have not seen the live environment. So there is a mismatch. A live environment might be very different. You have done one certification on talent management, which helps you to understand what a talent management is all about. And then you have an experience in the live environment where you actually picked up an internship, and you went ahead and did some work on that, what you learned. I'm sure the second one is always preferred by everyone. So there has to be a balance between both of them. To tweak the same example, I can say I don't do any certification. I just go and do something known as I get an opportunity to do talent management in some company. I go and do talent management work for 2 months, right? My exposure to talent management in that company will be limited because what I'm doing for 2 months will be very limited, where the talent management activity goes throughout the year. So my learning curve on talent management will be restricted to only the 2 months what I learned. So I become a sort of a person which I think I know talent management out of 2 months of my learning. Whereas somebody who had done a balance of both, where the person had done some kind of certification which helps him or her to understand what all they can do, what all they can look at, and what all they should be, getting exposed to. And then they're doing a certification, and they're doing a certification, and then they're doing, or simultaneously they are doing an internship. It will help them. I personally feel that. So it's not I will not say you can debate from that saying that don't do certification and do only internship. That's not advisable. Don't do internship and only do certification. I think that's not advisable. Mix of both, if possible, is always beneficial.
Okay,
Absolutely.
thank you.
So I have the next question here.
Please.
Nowadays, there's a mindset, there's a notion generally that usually the ratio of girls is a lot higher compared to boys when it comes to choosing HR as a profession, and boys preferably pick up finance or marketing as their career. So why is it a myth
Because
or what
I
is?
was the only and I can say I was the only boy in my class.
But what are the reasons? What is your opinion on that? What is your take? Why is that scenario existing? Why? What is the reason of a lot of people developing that kind of a mindset that girls are ideally more preferred for HR?
It's just about the mindset. I want to know why I picked up HR was my area of interest, right? Why people are saying it's a while more girls are getting into HR and while less boys are getting into HR, I can say it's only a matter of area of interest. It's very difficult to comment why girls are being preferred or why they are preferring HR than the boys are being preferred and why boys are preferring marketing more than HR. I personally have interacted with good number of people, recruited them, with thousands of numbers. I can say that so far. It is purely matter of interest. Okay, somebody can get up and say, a girls or ladies have more interest in HR than the boys have. Listen, the answer is correct, might be, or the boys have less interest in HR than the ladies have. The answer is correct. It's ultimately, I personally believe it's a matter of interest. When I was doing my courses, I was very clear I wanted to be in HR. Um, I was the only, I can say, I think me and one more boy, there were only two boys in the class, right? Everybody used to laugh at us saying that HR में boys भी है क्या? I said, boss, I love the subject, that's why I'm in HR and I want to make my career over there. So though the marketing have full of boys, that's okay. That's not what I'm interested upon.
Thank you, sir, for addressing that so sportingly. So there's another question that we have. What are the essential skills one should know? I think this you've answered. What are the attributes for a potential HR candidate? Let's move to the next question. What factors to keep in mind when choosing the right institution for an internship? When one is scouting for internship and one is segregating the kind of options they can apply for, what are the essential factors they need to keep in mind?
My bit on that will be first, you should do some homework before you even go for internship. Try to take a step back and try to see what you want to do in internship. What are your objective of internship? What you want to learn in internship? Have some thoughts over there. That's what I call something. Take a step back. First, understand yourself, your objective, and then try to scout in the market. Do you have any internship which helps you to learn what you are trying to learn in those internships? instead of randomly going and picking up what is coming on the way, or instead of just scouting what is there, what is there, what is there, take a step back, understand what you want to learn, and then go and look for it. And if you get it, well and good. If you're not able to get what you're looking at, then probably what is the best suitable in the environment, pick this up. Many a time I have seen students missing on all the opportunity, just waiting for the golden opportunity. So you should not be doing that. My request to everyone on that is take a step back, understand what you want. If you get what you want, well and good. If you get somebody matching what you want, please pick this up. Don't leave the opportunity just for sake of saying, I don't like it. I want X only, or else I will not do. In HR, every experience matters. Trust me, every experience matters. You might come up and say today that my area of expertise is let's say talent management, and I want to make my career in talent management. You are lucky enough that you did a certificate in talent management. Excellent. You were lucky enough to get a certificate, to do an internship in talent management. Excellent. You have done two things. You got a job in talent management. Okay, excellent. You wanted to do something. You got certificate. You did internship. You got a job in that. Let's say after 2 or 3 years in the job, you happen to come across a scenario opportunity where the organization is saying you are doing a talent management job. You want you to handle recruitment for a while now, because there might be attrition, or there might be whatever reasons it can be. There might be various reasons in the organization, right? If they ask you to handle, let's say, recruitment for 2 months or 6 months or 8 months, or whatever time frame, or 3 months, saying that okay, we need your support in handling the recruitment. If you have some kind of experience, some kind of internship in recruitment at some point in time in your career, I'm sure that will come very handy. You will not be struggling that time. You'll say, yes, I have done it. This was not an area of interest, but yes, I picked it up. I've done it. I know it, and I can do it. So multi-skilling, is very important. Multi-skilling doesn't make you master of everything, but you should know everything.
Absolutely. I think very rightly answered. Thank you for those insights and anecdotes. Manasvi, would you like to ask the next question?
The difference
Again.
uh, hello? Yeah.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
go ahead.
So can you explain us the difference between apprenticeship and internship?
See, apprenticeship and internship is more to do with and there's some disturbance. So I think both are worded differently depending upon what the industry is looking at it and what the curriculum or the structure where you come from. Apprenticeship is also, so if you go to crux of it, what do the both of them do? They both help students to come to the live environment, get exposed to live environment, and get ready for future opportunities. So it's moreover, I can say, a different framework which are there, but both does a same job of exposing people or exposing the students to a live environment, and then accordingly they can they can skill themselves on that, both soft skill as well as professional skills, and they can look for a better job for themselves.
Absolutely. Sir,
So
I would also...
sorry, one more thing on that. I will not like to differentiate from a technical term point of view. I would like to see what do they do, both of them, to students.
Okay. So I wanted to know, are there any options of online internship, in the given circumstances and considering the current scenario?
Yes, lots of companies and lots of institutes have contacted lots of companies. Lots of companies are going for online internships, and that's a normal norm now, because whereas the work from home is a normal norm for the industry now, similarly online internship is also becoming a normal norm. So this year I'm sure many students are going for online internship other than physically onboard internships.
Okay.
That is
Manasvi,
that's an acceptable norm now. Nobody will, like, if tomorrow somebody will go and say in 2020 I have done online internship, people will accept it.
Okay. So my question is that after one completes graduation, so should he or she work for some time, or should he opt for the masters, like MBA or something? Or in between the graduation and masters, should he work for something, or directly go for an MBA in HR?
So I think both are important. Both are okay, depending upon what you're looking at. Any kind of exposure is always helpful, which I already mentioned. So whether you can go for directly MBA, or you can go for some kind of experience of 1, 2, 3 years in HR and then go for MBA, I think both are okay. So there is no right or wrong in that. It will only make you, let's say, a person with a more experience will be able to understand things. I can say a live environment exposure will be a very different than only bookish exposure. According to me, I can say, I'm sure people will have a different view on this topic. I personally feel it's purely depend upon person to person. Person can say, I'll work for 2 years and then go for my masters. Somebody will say, okay, let me go for my masters. I'll work for 2 years and learn everything what I have learned in the college. So both the approach is correct. It depends upon the thought process. Somebody might pick up lots of online courses while working, and then they might go for MBA, which is also okay.
Okay. I think we just spoke about doing online internships. So, are there any options wherein one can find live projects, and can they be done online?
I think live projects are provided in the industry. Lots of companies and institutes have encouraged live project long time back. Uh, so live, so there is, you just need to find out in the companies who are ready to give live projects. And
Okay.
right with the work from home concept coming in, and so many people are working from home, so live projects are possible. So you just need to look for a company, are they ready to give live projects or not.
Okay. So, given the challenging times that we all are facing because of the global pandemic and the crisis, how likely the field of HR is going to get affected post COVID-19 as far as the recruitment and the outsourcing pattern is concerned?
I said the job of HR has increased multifold because of COVID. Um, One of the recruitment was one of the job profile that HR was responsible for, and that is also, going multifold. There are lots of other things that HR need to do, right, from the employee management point of view, something known as talent engagement, talent management. Uh, Lots of digitization is coming into picture. Talent management and talent engagement is as a word and as a theme is changing. What I, let's say, planned last year as a talent engagement activities and talent engagement strategy is very different that of what I have planned for this year, because this year is more of a technique, more of a digitization that we are working upon. A lot of digital initiatives are coming into picture. Then where we can meet people face to face. So a work of HR is actually getting multifold because of this pandemic, and they have been looked upon by everyone for the help, for the support. They are becoming they are a bridge between the management and the employee, and the bridge is becoming stronger and stronger because the employee is looking at HR to help them in their well-being, in their upskilling, in their job environment, to understand what they can do, what they cannot do. Work from home is coming up with different challenges. People are going to HR saying that I have this challenge working from home. What can be done? What cannot be done? One thing I can tell you is very different that as an industry, and this is the first time in the I think in my career I can say, and for many people career, that we have been facing a lockdown of this kind, and work from home is becoming a norm. Many people were not prepared for that, right? But people are getting prepared for that. People are getting used to that, and everybody is learning every day, and everybody is looking at solutions every day. Everybody is coming up with innovative solutions every day to support each other and to support the industry. So as a HR, I think the jobs are increasing. I can say that there's a multifold requirement of HR should come in future, and the job of HR has also increased than what they were doing. So it's very different than managing an HR of 2,000 people in the same building, than managing an HR of 2,000 people who are in the same city but spread across different buildings.
Perfect. Manasri, would you like to ask the next question? So we still have 10 minutes,
Please,
last
please.
10 minutes.
Sir, so my question is that should one work at it, for a small startup? Because if he works for a startup, so he has to do the marketing, like he has to handle a lot of roles instead of a big firm. So, what would be your take? Like, should one opt for a big firm internship or should one work for a startup to gain more experience?
My take on that is I think both are good. Depends upon what opportunities are available for you while you're looking for internship. I think there is no right or wrong in that. Startup will give a different kind of exposure, and mature organization, I can say, big organization, mature organization will give a different kind of exposure. So it depends upon what exposure that you're looking for. That's why I said if you go to my previous question, which I was answering, which says that take a step back. So take a step back, get your thoughts in place, understand what your expectations are, and what are you looking at. Then start scouting in the market. If somebody looking for different kind of experience, then might be in startup might be the right place because it will give exposure to different kind of experience. Somebody looking for a very mature organization for one particular topic or one particular field of experience, it might be a mature organization will help him or her to get experience in a particular topic or particular field. So stepping back, getting your thoughts in place, making your notes, getting the expectation right, I believe will help students to take it forward.
Absolutely. So, as a HR person, what is your take on HR eliminations, and how important or how imperative is the role of technology in this frame of human resources?
We all, whether accepted or not accepted, the next world is the technology world. Technology has entered everywhere. I remember when, if you go back a few years back, before the, what do you call it, before there was this demon, right? Before demon, uh, ATM was still struggling, right? After demon, I think one of the company which got which flourished was also a Paytm, right? Because the electronic payment became the norm, where it was not earlier. Similarly, with COVID, now what is happening is the technology is becoming a norm. The work from home is becoming a norm. To give you a very simple example, I have never worked from home throughout my career. This is the first time I'm working from home. The kind of engagement activity I have to plan for my staff is very different, as I mentioned, to what was the earlier engagement activities. And how can I reach them is only through technology. I cannot go to everybody's house, is not allowed. I have to reach them through technology. I need to come up with the various kind of options available to help them and to connect with them. To do virtual town halls. And I'm sure the webinars are so much of in right now, which were not the case few years back, right? Few years back, the webinars were there in the market, but they were not there how much they are there now. I recently got some invites where I was talking about the entire series when it comes to there's a virtual meets getting organized. Whereas there used to be physical meet when it comes to HR. The virtual meets, virtual meetings, or virtual sessions. And I think the world is moving towards the technology, and technology is in. And the next years, more and better technology will come in. I can say that, which will help all of us to get connected faster and better than all of us what we are today. Also, I'm sure a few years back, Zoom. I have started only using Zoom post lockdown. I've never Zoom used before Zoom. No, I've never used Zoom before that. But now I'm sure many of the students who are using Zoom, I'm sure they must have not used it. Let's say in the month of January 2020 or might be in October 2019. But now people are into it.
Absolutely. So, would you quickly like to throw what are the top institutes in India and abroad for HR candidates they should be considering to apply? And how does one qualify or get through them? What is the eligibility criteria if one is aspiring to make a profession in field of HR?
I will refrain myself to give a weightage to any institute, saying that okay, this is the this institute is best or that institute is bad. I will refrain from commenting on those things. I'm sure there are enough of data available online. There are enough of data available to people, and which are the top institutes of India. TIS is one of the top institute. XLI is one of the top institute. SCMHRD, SIBM are the few top institute. There are lots of IMs who offer this courses, which are good institutes. So I'm sure there are lots of data available online. So I will refrain from commenting on any institute on that. But I can only say this: work hard. Look at the criteria available to crack those institutes. It can be any institute in the country, what you are aspiring for, and then work for that. I know a good number of people who would take a break just to study, just to go to the institute what they have dreamed of.
Yeah.
And I know a good number of people who picked up what was available for them, and both are successful. I can say that it's not that there's somebody who took a break and got into institute what they were admire, what they were desiring or what they dreamed of is only person successful. So you have stories of success both the sides. So it purely depends upon interest level, what extra mile you go and what how do you try to scale yourself. And trust me, in today's scenario, right, with the technology becoming so good and so much of online data available, so much of online things, certifications available, you can be in India, doing a global certifications and you have the certification in place. I'm doing some courses from Harvard, right? I'm sitting in India. So those are available right now.
Yeah, I happen to take a look at it because right now they're offering some complimentary courses online. I was planning to study one of it. So I also wanted to understand before we close this session with this last question, the final one. For the stream of HR, if somebody is looking at making a career in HR, which is the ideal stream the person needs to hail from? What should be ideally the background of the person, or when it comes to giving your preferences, do you prefer hiring somebody who has done a BA in arts, or somebody who has done engineering, or somebody from the field of commerce? How does one choose one specific stream before getting into human resources?
So in HR, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what have you done in your graduation. I have seen people from hotel management moving to HR. I have seen people who are doctors moving to HR. I have seen people from BCom, BA, operations, all the fields moving to HR as a specialization. So I personally believe it doesn't matter what is the background that you are coming from or what is the graduate degree that you have.
Mm.
What will matter more than the graduate degree will be why you are coming to HR, why you want to do HR, why you want to do the masters. So that is the most important question that you need to ask yourself. Get an answer of that, right, and then go for it. It doesn't matter. Trust me, it doesn't matter whether you are from BCom, whether you're from BSc, whether you are from BA, or you are from, let's say, hotel management or doctorate, or you are a CA. I have people from CA who have cleared CA and then they got into HR. I've seen people who are LLB, they have done the LLB and then got into HR. So I have come across people from various, I can say, from diverse background who are in HR.
Okay. I think that pretty much sums up all the queries that we have received today. On that note, thank you once again, sir, for joining us. Once
Thank
again,
you.
Dr. Rajat, you've been absolutely helpful in guiding a lot of aspirants and students who are trying to build their careers. So we wish you all the very best, and please take care during the COVID-19. It was absolute pleasure to have you adding value to today's webinar, day one. And thank you, Manasvi, for being part of the session today. We truly appreciate your presence as well. For all the candidates and all the participants who are watching us right now, do join us tomorrow for yet another fruitful and very informative webinar on technology and employer branding on human resources at 6:30 sharp in conjunction with ACBM Global Mentor Academy. Thank you once again for taking out your valuable time and joining us. We look forward to see you, all of you, tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you.